What's going on there, guys? We are talking about an awesome topic tonight. We are in our third video out of our series of 4. And if you didn't see the first 2, go back and watch because those are the foundation where we talk about how the thoracic spine affects the shoulder in the first video. Number 2 is like how to assess your thoracic spine mobility and how to do it properly. And then tonight, we're going to talk about 3 most effective stretches to improve your thoracic spine mobility, which in turn is going to help you get rid of your shoulder pain. And guys, I know because I use these exact 3 exercises and I give them to almost 80 to 90% of all my clients with shoulder issues who have the specific kind of lack of mobility in that mid-back area. So if you guys don't know me, you're new to the group, thank you so much for joining. Or if you're new to our YouTube channel, thank you so much for liking and subscribing and watching. I'm Dr. Choffner, Doctor of Physical Therapy, as well as strength and conditioning coach. And I'm helping you guys improve your mobility, which can lead to increased strength and as well as reduced pain. Right. So everyone's always talking about how annoying their shoulder pain is. They don't truly know what's going on. That leads to their strength being an issue where they can't really keep up with their counterparts in class. They kind of feel like they're struggling behind and they really don't know what the missing piece is. And that's what we're going to dive into tonight. We're going to dive into that missing piece. And hey, guys, if you like this information overall, that I'm going to share with you in a second, feel free to schedule a private one-to-one call where I can have a conversation with you that's 10 to 15 minutes in length. And we'll talk about kind of answering your questions with you, send you some resources you can use. And I have nothing to sell you guys. It's just to help you. We've done many calls with many people over the years. So be sure to kind of comment down below if you're interested and you're watching on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, check kind of in the description. We'll put the link kind of in both the description and in the comments. You can click the link and find a good time that works for you and your schedule. All right. So guys, do you feel like your mid-back is really affecting your shoulder? Not many people truly think about this, or not many people know. And to be honest, like even when I started as a physical therapist, I never looked at the mid-back. I never looked at the thoracic spine. When it was the shoulder, I just honed in on that shoulder and I spent all my time on that shoulder. Well, I'm here to tell you, based on the research and my experience of working with people, that 80, 90% of the time, a mid-back mobility restriction, like being that you can't rotate side to side or kind of extend back too far because you're always in this sitting posture, can really affect how your shoulder naturally functions. So newsflash, wake up. You have to work from the middle and then out. If you ever get stuck, I tell all my clients that start in the middle, work your way out. So start in the midline of the body at the spine, move to the shoulder blades, move to the shoulder joint, then to the elbows and the wrists, etc. Right? Especially if you don't know what's going on, you always want to start the midline because most issues stem from the midline of the body and they work their way down into the extremities. All right. So we're going to talk about, again, the 3 stretches that I did personally to improve my thoracic spine mobility, which helped clear up my shoulders without me actually doing anything directly for my shoulder. Pretty cool, I know. And it works. They're really simple, easy exercises to do. We're going to go over the sets and the reps, and I'm going to share my screen and go over kind of the details of them through a nice little kind of YouTube video here for you guys. Well, 3 different YouTube videos, I should say. And you guys should be able to see. All right. If you guys want access to these videos, feel free to comment down below, and I'm happy to send you the links to them too. The first one we're going to go through is thoracic spine extensions. Right? What does this mean? This means we're kind of changing that kyphosis, which is normal, guys. Kyphosis is just a normal kind of rounding curvature of your thoracic spine, right? Where you have a lordosis in your neck and you have a lordosis in your lower back, meaning it kind of arches like an S, right? We have almost like a C shape of our kind of mid-back, and that's completely normal, guys, based on research and based on our anatomy. We don't want an excessive one, though, because if we spend a lot of time here, we're going to get extra tight there. We're going to put a lot of strain on the shoulders as we kind of go through things. So this one, you want to grab a foam roller, and you're going to do it in 3 different spots. The first spot's going to be directly under the shoulder blades, which he has it here. That's about T7. So there's 12 thoracic vertebrae. You're right in line with the bottom kind of border. It's called the inferior border of your shoulder blade, where it gets a little pointy area in there, where it juts out on some people. So that's the first area. You're going to do 5 repetitions there. And you're going to hold for 3 seconds. Then we're going to scoot our body down. We're just going to move the foam roller to the mid portion of the shoulder blade. We're going to do 5 repetitions there, holding for 3 seconds. And then we're going to scoot our body down even further and make sure it comes to the top of the shoulder blade. So we're on the spine of the scapula. And then we're doing the same thing, 5 reps, holding for 3 seconds. So guys, especially if you have a shoulder issue, you want to make sure you pin your elbows inwards like this, like he's doing in the video. And you just purely get good movement from that mid-back. And he's cueing him to engage his abdominals and lock his rib cage down. If you don't engage your abdominals and lock your rib cage down, you're doing it this way, which is improper, you're going to stretch your lower back. And you don't want that, because if you stretch your lower back, you're going to put a lot of strain on the front of your shoulders as well. So keep everything locked down like this. Don't let your rib cage pop up. And you want pure mobility happening at that mid-back. So if you're doing it properly, you should feel a stretch somewhat in the lats. And then also you want to feel a stretch in that mid-back area. And again, you keep scooting back, holding for 3 seconds each time you go through it. All right. So again, do one set of that, 15 repetitions, 5 with it at the bottom of the shoulder blade, 5 at kind of the midpoint, and 5 at the top of the shoulder blade. All right. Then we're going to bounce to our next one. Our next one is quadruped downward rotation stretch. This is with a band. So you want to use a nice super band that you would use if you were doing like assisted pull-ups, where you put your foot in the band to help kind of pull you up to the bar. You want it to be pretty thick, guys, because you want a big aggressive pull on where that band is coming from. So you want to anchor that band to a few feet from the squat rack, and you want kind of the side you're stretching, it's going to be the outer arm, kind of pulling downwards with your palm up. So your palm needs to be facing the ceiling as you're going through this stretch. Your head's relaxed and this shoulder is staying put. I'm dropping my left shoulder here to the ground, and I'm letting that band pull me for a nice stretch of my lat. And then I'm retracting, meaning I'm pulling that shoulder blade back towards the spine to actually strengthen it and hold for 2 to 3 seconds. Then I'm going back into the stretch. And guys, in this stretch, you're holding for about 30 seconds and you're taking about 5 deep breaths. If you're inhaling and exhaling, you're going to actually be able to kind of lengthen and shorten that muscle a little bit more, which is what we want. So this one, you want to perform about probably 4 to 8 reps for about kind of 30 seconds and 5 deep breaths on each kind of set that you're doing. All right, then switch to the other side. The biggest thing that I see people do wrong is they tend to move their whole body when they do this. My body's not moving at all. Imagine your body's in a box, right? This shoulder stays put, this arm stays straight. Just the arm you're working is kind of being kind of pulled towards where that band attachment is with your palm up. So you're stretching your lat as you drop your shoulder. So you're actually working your lat and thoracic rotation at the same time, right? So that's a beautiful stretch, and try and coordinate that breathing and then pull it back. And it's going to help strengthen those rhomboids a little bit too. So give that one a go, guys. Again, these won't take more than like 5 to 10 minutes tops to do, and they're great to do before any upper body lifts, especially overhead presses or anything like that you have in your programming, even Olympic lifts. All right, so that is the second one. The last one here is half kneeling thoracic rotations, right? Probably one of the easiest out of the 3 in terms of setup, especially, right? You can't really screw this one up too bad, but I have seen some crazy things. So for this one, right, you want to pick a spot on the wall, right? You want to be up against the wall, so that kind of inner leg, right, it's going to be behind you, and then the outer leg is going to be out in front of you. You want your knee stacked directly over your ankle and your foot, and you want both hands clasped together. Your head's neutral, looking straight ahead. You want to start by sliding the hand that's closest to the wall forward, reaching the outer hand back, and let your head follow your elbow, right? So I'm reaching the right hand forward as I reach the left arm across, and I'm holding for 3 seconds here at end range, right? The goal is to be able to touch the wall with the opposite arm, but you should not be moving the trunk in this kind of transverse plane. So you shouldn't be moving it all side to side. Your body should stay kind of locked in position as you kind of reach across and kind of hold for 2 or 3 seconds. It's the same thing as the previous one. When you reach across, right, when I'm kind of reaching that left arm back, make sure you're exhaling. If you blow out a little bit of air, you're going to get a little more motion. Make sure you're also not hyperextending like this and going backwards. Guys, let me know if you have any questions on these. Feel free to kind of link them down below. Hopefully that made sense. And just to recap, we'll go through the 3 exercises in detail again and kind of what their names are. And you guys can, by all means, ask for the links and I'll send them down below to you in the comments. Or you can research them yourself on YouTube or type them in Google too. Number 1 is foam roller thoracic spine extensions, right? And we're doing that for about 1 set of 15 reps, holding for 3 seconds on each, where we kind of do 5 reps at the bottom of the shoulder blades, 5 in the middle, 5 at the top of the shoulder blades. The second one is banded downward thoracic rotations. That's where you want to use one of those super bands, and you want to have it pull kind of while it's wrapped around a barbell rig or the bottom of a bed, some kind of sturdy post or a table, and let that kind of pull you into a nice stretch and then retract back. And that one you're doing about 2 sets of 8 repetitions, holding for about 30 seconds on each while you're exhaling and inhaling. And then the final and last one is the half kneeling thoracic rotations. This one is great. All you need is a little empty wall space, maybe a little bit of a cushion support under your knee just to protect your knee joints, because I know if you do it on a nasty gym floor or concrete in your garage or basement, it's really going to bother you. So roll up a towel, use like a pillow or something like that and put underneath the knee, and use that to your advantage. And all you're doing is sliding the inner arm forward and outer arm across your body and letting your head follow your arm and holding for 3 seconds. In that one, I would do 1 to 2 sets of about 10 to 15 repetitions, holding each for about 3 seconds. All right, so give those a go, guys. If you're doing shoulder strengthening, which I recommend you still do, even if your shoulder is completely fine or feels strong, do your strengthening after you do these mobilizations. Like in the beginning of the call, I mentioned start in the middle, work your way out. right? When in doubt. So work and mobilize your thoracic spine through these 3 stretches first, and do your accessory strengthening afterwards. Even if it's like a banded row, even if it's banded pullbacks, or like maybe you're doing like inverted rows, pull-ups. I really don't care what you're doing, but you want to always mobilize the spine first, or the joints first, stretch second, and then strengthen third. If you do that, believe me, you're going to see huge benefits to it. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, share this with a friend or family member. And again, stay tuned. Next week, we're going to go through the 3 most effective strengthening exercises to help bulletproof your thoracic spine so that shoulder pain doesn't come back. Okay. So after you get that new mobility from doing these 3 exercises we just went through, you have to learn how to maintain it. And that's where strength comes in, and that's where load comes in. And that's where we kind of trick the mind and the body, right, to kind of link together and maintain. All right. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great rest of your night. Take care.